All right, let's talk about something really important today. Workplace fairness in South Africa. Specifically, what do you do when things feel, well, unfair? We're going to break down the official grievance process, step by step, so you know exactly what your rights are and how to stand up for them.
You ever have one of those days? You know, you're sitting in a meeting or you read an email and this one thought just pops into your head.
Yeah, that feeling. It's so common, right? That little moment of just disbelief. But here's the thing, that feeling doesn't have to be where the story ends. Actually, it can be the very first step toward finding a real solution.
So how do we do that? How do you take that frustration, that feeling that something is just plain wrong, and turn it into something concrete, something that can actually lead to real change?
Well, it all starts with understanding the main tool you've got, the word grievance. Yeah, I know, it sounds a little intense, maybe even confrontational. But I want you to try thinking about it differently. It's not just a complaint, it's a professional problem-solving tool. It's designed to fix things.
And here's the key part. It's a formal process. That means it's a structured, official way for you to say, hey, I believe something here has crossed a line and my rights or my fair treatment have been affected. And because it's formal, your company has to formally respond.
So what kind of stuff are we talking about? Well, it covers a lot of ground. You've got the really clear-cut issues like disputes over your salary or genuinely unsafe working conditions. But it also covers those things that can be a bit more subtle, like ongoing bullying, an unfair workload that just never ends, or when a professional relationship has completely broken down.
And this is so important to remember. It doesn't have to be some huge, dramatic, single event. A lot of the time, the strongest grievances come from those nagging, persistent problems. The ones you've probably already tried to fix informally, but you just keep hitting a wall with management. Their refusal to act is the issue.
So, getting this distinction right is absolutely crucial. A grievance is for the serious stuff, issues that affect your dignity, your rights, your pay, your safety. You know, a breach of your contract? That's grievance territory. Your colleagues' questionable lunch habits? Probably not. This tool is for real unfairness, not just minor annoyances.
Okay, so let's say you've got a valid issue. You're ready to take action. What happens next? Let's walk through the actual process, because it's not some mysterious black box. It's a clear path, and it's designed to protect you.
It usually breaks down into 4 main steps. First, you have to submit your grievance in writing. This creates the official paper trail. Second, you get a formal hearing, which is your chance to explain everything. Third, the company has to do a fair investigation. And finally, step 4, you have to get a formal outcome, also in writing. Now this slide here, this might be the most important one of all. You have legally protected rights through this whole thing. For one, your boss cannot punish you or treat you badly just for raising an issue. That's called victimization, and it's illegal. The process also can't drag on forever, and you have the right to bring someone with you for support, like a colleague or a shop steward.
But what happens if you do all that, you get that written outcome in your hands, and you just think, nope, this isn't right, the problem isn't solved? Well, guess what? It doesn't have to end there.
You have a clear path to escalate. You can take it up the chain to a more senior manager or to the head of HR. But the real power move? If you're still not getting anywhere, you can go external. You can take your case to your union or to the CCMA. That's the independent body that handles these kinds of disputes. The big takeaway here is that an internal no is not the final word.
And hey, if at any point a manager says something like, if you're so unhappy, why don't you just leave? You need to know that is not an acceptable response. In fact, under South African law, that kind of attitude can actually be used to build a case for constructive dismissal. It's serious stuff.
Okay, we've covered a ton of ground, the what, the why, and the how. So let's wrap it all up with a simple, powerful rule of thumb you can use anytime you're wondering if you have a case.
This is it. This is your mental checklist. Just look at these words. If the issue you're facing is hitting any of these core areas, your dignity, your rights, your pay, your safety, your career growth, basic fairness, or a key working relationship, then yes, it is absolutely grievance territory. It really is that simple.